I'm not really.
The
I'm just
first
kind
thing,
of looking for what happened over the last.
well, it's important. It's important. These definitions are important. And
Well,
reality,
it's my question time, and I don't need definitions. I just want to know if there was a discrepancy. It's very public. It was in Reuters, a series of different news articles, and I'm just asking what has been done to narrow that gap. Perhaps there was nothing. I don't know. I'm just.
Thank you very much. Mr. Carney, can you tell me the countries from which your company sources the polysilicon that goes into its solar panels?
I mean, off the top of my head, I can't, but I can tell you that a number of the solar arrays, or the main components of solar arrays, and I would come from China, which is one of the largest producer. In fact, is the largest producer in the world of solar arrays.
Yes, that is true. In fact, half of the polysilicon, which is the main raw material used to make solar wafers, is produced in highly secretive coal-powered factories in the Xinjiang region, the same place the communist regime is carrying out a genocide against the Muslim minority. I'm going to quote Reuters here. Quote, some U.S. lawmakers have voiced growing concern that the industry is dependent upon products, specifically the raw material polysilicon, linked to work camps in China's Shenzhen region. The U.S. State Department has made a determination that Chinese officials are perpetrating genocide there, and imports of cotton and tomato products from the region were banned this year. Will you make the commitment on behalf of Brookfield that you will not source any materials from the Shenzhen region?
I'll make the commitment that we will not source materials that have the supply chain that you described, yes.
So does that mean you will not source any materials for your solar panels from the Shenzhen region?
Well, I think one has to look at, I don't have with me today the exact source, the exact companies and the specifics. So I'm not, if I may, I'm not going to take the reference from a media report and apply it as fact. But certainly ethical sourcing is important to us at Brookfield, yes.
Well, that's a nice talking point, but you would think you would know one way or the other whether your materials are, being that you are responsible for environment, social, and governance for this massive $500 billion enterprise, that you would know off the top of your head if the materials were coming from a place known for slavery, genocide, and coal-fired electricity.
What I'm saying, Mr. Poilievre, is I do not believe that that is the case.
But you haven't verified it.
So you've asked me the question. Well, I have no reason to believe that it is the case. No.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't know. It just seems astonishing to me that someone who's responsible for environment, social, and governance would not want to guarantee that raw materials for your products are not coming from that kind of a region. And you've just said that the provenance is China. Well, the region in China where this material is produced is the Shenzhen region. So I'm just shocked that you haven't looked into this. It seems like you're concerned more with shareholder profits than you are with human rights and social justice. Your executive, I'm going to ask a question now. Your CEO says that a third of Brookfield's business will be in China within 25 years. China is the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world. Why are you moving your resources and your capital to a country that has such intense emissions of greenhouse gases when that's the opposite of what you state is your purpose?
Well, to be clear on the specific, my role at Brookfield, which is to develop a strategy, which we are developing, which is to invest in companies, remove and eliminate greenhouse gases. So that's the impact, that's the transition approach. So what one does in that situation, if you may follow, is you go to where the emissions are and you convert dirty activities to green activities. And in fact, this is I believed when I accepted the invitation, was the focus of this this committee, is how we could do it for Canada. And so Brookfield is
so anyway
working. What I'm doing,
I don't think I'm getting an answer here.
If I may, you keep
had plenty of time, sir.
May
I please go on to my next question?
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind, rather than having your characterization of what I do, being allowed to give what I do, the facts of what I do, and what my responsibilities are.
Okay.
And my responsibilities at Brookfield are developing a transition fund, which we think will be world leading, which is to help.
And I'm commenting on the impact that has on human rights around the world, sir. That's the point. And so I'll conclude.
Greenhouse gas emissions.
A final question, an ethical way. Thank you. Do you believe that the Chinese government is perpetrating a genocide on the Uyghur people? Put shareholder profits aside and just focus on humanity here for a moment.
I focus on humanity. I spend
so yes or no?
Focus on humanity, which
yes
is
or no?
dedicated to my.
Yes or no?
I'm deeply concerned by the situation and with the
yes or no?
Thank you very much, Mr. Poilievre. Unfortunately,
shareholders first.
Time.
Protecting the profits.
Thank you very much, Mr. Poilievre. Our next round of questions goes to MP.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to all the witnesses. I have to share with you, I've never seen such unbridled enthusiasm amongst my colleagues. So thank you for appearing here today and for your testimony. Now, I have questions for Mr. Choi as well as Mr. Carney. Perhaps I should start with Mr. Choi. Mr. Choi, it is incredible what you are doing at GHG SAT. This is really cutting edge work that you've undertaken. And in your testimony, you refer to actionable data. Who is that actionable data for?
Well, Mr. Osasi, thank you so much for this question, and thank you for the opportunity to be here and address the committee today. When we talk about actionable data, we talk about having timely, objective, and transparent measures of greenhouse gas emissions to various stakeholders. And these stakeholders at this point primarily are in the commercial sector. So we provide our data to the oil and gas sector. We provide our data to the resource sector, to the waste management sector.